What's up, guys? Cody from BVTV, here with Alex from All Time Low. How you doing tonight, man?
Good, man. I'm very good.
Excellent. All right, so you guys have spent the majority of this year working on a new album. Have you guys finished it up yet?
Pretty much. We're the songs are done. Most of everything is tracked, good to go. We're just still sort of at the end of the mixing process. A couple late mixes. Working on the artwork and all that, trying to tie all the loose ends together. But yeah, pretty much done.
All right, and this will be your first release on your new label, Interscope, which is a big step up from Hopeless.
Yeah.
How's this new label going for you?
So far, so good. You know, I mean, we haven't done much yet in the way of we haven't put out a record or anything like that. But you know, the starting process and the support has been amazing. You know, they've been very supportive of the new, you know, the direction of the new record, and it feels good. I'm really excited about it. You know, there's a lot of opportunities and doors to be opened because of the label.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so what new things are going to set this album apart from your old album?
I think experience, just general experience. We've definitely, you know, taken another step forward, I think, in songwriting and in, you know, just the way we put our songs together, the way we recorded this album. It feels a lot better. It feels a little more natural. And I think it's a good progression, so I'm really happy about it.
So will this album have more of a mainstream feel to it?
I guess so. Yeah, maybe. I think not in a negative sense. I guess it just depends how you look at the word mainstream or the concept. We're definitely shooting for a broader audience, you know, but it's still very much what All Time Low has always been about. So
yeah, for sure.
We're staying true to ourselves.
All right, so what's the first single off this album going to be?
That is a good question. We have no idea. We're still sort of in the process of figuring that one out. We should know within the next couple weeks, but it's really been like, because we're still tying some of these later songs together. It's been, you know, we wanted to wait to have all the songs finished so that we could, you know, pick well.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
Not rush it.
So when can fans maybe expect to hear this?
I think we're shooting to put the record out now in March, it looks like. It was originally supposed to be January, but, you know, as with a lot of record-making processes, it kind of got slowed down a little bit. So, yeah, March, I think, is when we're shooting to have it out.
Have you guys started work on any music videos for the album?
No, that, again, it kind of comes with a single, you know, like, once we find out what the single is, that's when we'll start shooting the music videos and you know, pushing whatever the single is in all kinds of other media markets.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so you guys announced that the album will be called Dirty Work. Yeah. What's the story behind that?
It's sort of, without, you know, taking half an hour to explain it, it's kind of, it's about the past year and a half of sort of being in this band and living a life related to this band and sort of trying to juggle two complete polar opposites, and that is, you know, trying to you know, put yourself out there and be everywhere at once and constantly be on the road and you know, going to the parties, meeting people, doing all that and living that life, and then sort of the other side of it, the darker side, the consequences, kind of losing people because of having to be here all the time rather than at home or whatnot. So it felt like, you know, it felt sometimes like the work we were doing was dirty work, but yeah, it's worth it.
It pays off in the end.
It does.
Yeah,
it does.
All right, so speaking of names, the name for this tour is My Small Package Tour.
Yeah.
What's the story behind that?
Jack has a tiny wiener.
Oh, all right.
No, it was just a play on the fact that it's smaller rooms, only 3 bands on the bill. So, you know, the tour package is a small package, but it's funny because it sounds like we're talking about Jack's wiener.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But if it's a fact,
it is. Well, it is factual information. We wouldn't lie about it. Hey, bud.
You owe me $10. I'm taking this for your bunk. All's good. All's good.
I'm gonna need that back.
Did you guys get to choose the opening bands for this tour?
Yeah, we did, absolutely. Citycom Estate are some good friends of ours from the LA area. really new band. This is their first tour. They're still kind of working on an album, and really just they're in like the formative years of their band. So it's pretty cool, and I'm glad we got to take them out. This was kind of the right sort of tour for them to do first. You know what I mean? Like a small get to know your surroundings kind of thing. And then Rockets to the Moon is a band that we've never actually toured with, but always wanted to. So we hit them up, and they were into it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so any tours coming up after this one?
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot planned. You know, I think we have a little bit of time off after this to do some more record-related things, like shooting a music video and stuff like that. But then early next year, we go to South America, specifically Brazil, maybe Mexico. Nice. And then Europe after that, and the UK with Yellow Card, which is going to be incredible. And back here in the spring for a US tour.
Excellent.
Yeah, can't wait. It's non-stop for us.
Yeah, well, road life is fun, right?
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. It's what you got to do.
Yep. All right, so can we expect to see you guys on Warped Tour this year?
I don't know. As of right now, I don't think we're doing it. I know some bands have been confirmed. We have not, but it's still sort of up in the air. You know, we have plenty of time to figure it out. So
Yeah, no
hopefully,
doubt. Since it's just starting winter.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's a summer thing, so they do lock a lot of bands in early, but we'll see. You know, hopefully we'll get to do some at least. If not, you know, a good chunk of it.
Excellent. All right, so I've got some fun questions for you.
Right on.
All right, what's your guiltiest pleasure?
Guilty pleasure. Maybe. I think my guiltiest pleasure is playing StarCraft, which is a pretty nerdy game. So it's probably my guiltiest pleasure.
All right, that's fair enough.
Not always proud when people walk in on me when I'm playing that on my laptop. It's not.
Shut it real quick.
Yeah, they think I'm watching porn, but I'm actually playing StarCraft.
That's fair. All right,
Guilty.
What's the worst thing that's ever happened to you while you were performing?
I fell off the stage a couple times actually, just being clumsy and hit my head really hard. But the one of just the worst stage moments recently was Jack had to actually leave the stage to go poop mid-show.
He didn't do a Fergie and just go right in his
Thank
pants?
God, no. But later on we sort of established that he probably should have just gone on stage. Yeah.
That adds a lot of character to the show.
Exactly. It's unique for everyone.
Yeah. All right. How about your craziest tour story?
Craziest tour. I'm so bad at these. What's crazy? Has there been a crazy one on this tour? Not really. Absolutely everyone on the tour was hammered last night, and like rolling around in the hallway of the bus and stuff. That was kind of crazy.
Isn't that most nights of a tour?
Yeah, it was sort of one of those things. A couple of us were drunk for like 3 days straight. So I guess that was the craziest moment of this tour, and it was more one of those things you kind of had to be there. But nevertheless, it was crazy. It was a crazy few days. We almost bought live lobsters to fight them.
Just to have crawling around.
Yeah.
The floor bus.
Yeah, we were gonna see if we could get them to battle.
That's pretty awesome. All right. Well, what's the most desperate thing a chick has ever done to get your attention?
I mean, there's a story that I think a lot of people know already, but someone like kind of stalked me outside my house once, which was real creepy. It worked. She definitely got my attention, but yeah, that was kind of intense.
Well, was it a cute stalker, or? Because that's more acceptable.
There's not really any. I don't think any kind of stalker you're ever gonna look at like that. I wouldn't have. Maybe some people would find the good in that and take advantage of it, but not me. I was put off for sure.
Yeah, that's a little creepy. I can understand that.
Yeah.
All right. So when you're packing your bags, what's the one thing you're like, oh man, I can't forget this?
Probably actually. I always forget my iPod. It's one that I constantly get 3 or 4 days into the tour, and I'm like, damn it. So that's one that I've been trying harder to remember, and I did forget it on this tour, but luckily, a couple days later, we were in Baltimore again, so I could go home and get it. So all is well.
All right, good. What's the most trouble you've ever gotten into?
I don't know. I haven't really gotten into a whole lot of trouble because I don't get caught.
Yeah, knock on wood, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, what's your drink of choice?
Recently it's been Johnny Walker on the rocks, but I'm a wine guy as well. I'm a bit of a wine.
A little bit.
Yeah, it's casual. I don't know.
All right, well, what's your favorite tour food?
Tour food, sushi. We oftentimes get sushi on tour.
I see you guys eating that. Do you like sip it with your wine?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. All right.
We're very classy here on this bus.
This is a pretty classy bus. So I can
Sushi
understand that. All right, so we've had a bunch of fans asking us the story behind you guys in Metro Station and the videos of you guys on YouTube bragging about him. Would you like to
Bragging
expand-
about them or
bragging about them?
Oh,
yeah.
ragging on them. I don't really like to talk shit intentionally in interviews. A lot of bands try to do that to start up, whatever. They I'm not a huge fan of their music, but they're good enough dudes. So, I don't know. Sometimes we'll make fun of them in passing, but I'm not going to sit here in front of a camera and do it. It's bad taste.
Yeah. All right, and as a lot of people know, you guys are really good friends with Demi Lovato. So what are your thoughts on her leaving the tour with the Jonas Brothers and checking herself into rehab?
Again, that's sort of, I don't know, it's that was something she was going through. But she's a strong chick. She'll be all good. People have issues sometimes, but I'm sure they'll get them worked out.
No. All right. Thank you. And anything you want to say to the fans before we go?
Thanks for having us. Hopefully we'll see you on this tour, the remainder of it, or a future tour. And I love you guys, and stay tuned for the new record. I'm really excited about it.
All right. Thank you, bud.
Oh yeah, dude. Thank you for having me. Hey, what's up? I'm Alex from All Time Low, and BVTV rocks. Make sure you know that always, and don't confuse it with anything else, because then you would be mistaken.
Maybe it's not my weekend, but it's gonna